Hello, everyone. This is me, Guy, and I have with me today Charlie. We're going to talk today about 2025, what we have accomplished this past year, and maybe a small outlook on 2026 and what we are set to do. So, hey, Charlie, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thanks, Guy. Thanks very much. Yeah, 2025 has gone by in a blink of an eye, hasn't it? I think
Oh,
we've
yeah.
uh, we've got quite a few things to talk about. I guess my first question to you is, what are your highlights? What things have stuck in your mind from the year?
Yeah. I mean, we did a similar video last year to wrap up 2024, and here we are again. As you said, the year went by very quickly. And our viewers will notice today that I have a different backdrop. By the way, just to remind our viewers, I'm in Montreal, and in Montreal, this time of the year, when you see blue skies and sunny weather, don't think it is warm. It's minus 23 today. So we know that when the sun is up in winter time, and mind you, it's not winter yet, it's only fall now. Winter starts December 21st, and we are at 23 below already. So that's how our end of year is happening. But if we want to take a look at the field engineer channel and what we have done this past year, I can say I think 2024 gave us a good start. And then in 2025, we became maybe more comfortable with the idea. It was good to have the guests that joined us. We had people from different walks of the world. I remember interviewing someone in India. I interviewed people in Europe. I interviewed field engineers, and they brought a lot of value to the channel. You and I held also some roundtables with other managers. And we noticed that when we get started, it's like we don't stop. People have a lot to contribute. And imagine five people around the table and each one with 20, 30 years of experience. That's more than 100 years of experience. And people are, contributing with their stories and their experiences. What are your thoughts, Charlie?
Absolutely. I think, first of all, a shout out to all those who have stepped up. It's takes a little bit of bravery to say, "Oh yeah, I'll come and be interviewed and have that posted and put out there." I think so. To everyone who has contributed to the channel and to the wider field engineer community, then a big thank you from us. From Tim and Caroline as well. So thank you for the contributions, and the audience makes it what it is, right? I think like you, Guy, we've done a lot of interviews. I've sat in the editing room doing quite a lot of editing through the year. I've really enjoyed the conversations I've had, and to your point, we've spoken to people from around the world. So I think long may that continue. We've got great representation all over the place. And I would say, if anyone is keen to come on and talk with one of us, we can make that happen. Equally, if anyone's keen to contribute more and help out, but maybe doesn't want to get out there and get in front of the camera, there's lots to do, and there's lots of ways to help out. One of the things that we do is our mentoring program, and I think we've had. Certainly, I've had some interesting conversations, mentoring people this year, but I haven't had that many approaches through the channel recently. I don't know what your experience is on that, Key.
Yeah, actually, about being in front of the camera, anyone I interview tell me that they are nervous. They are not used to being on camera, and this is going public. They will be on TV, YouTube, podcast. So, but once we get into it, and you and I still have that nervousness when we start recording, it's
Sure.
normal. But once we get into it, everybody tells me they enjoyed it. I mean, after we stop recording, we chat a little bit, and everybody tells me they enjoyed it. And I think that's because who doesn't enjoy expressing their stories, their experiences, talking about themselves, and contributing to the success of others? I mean, this is a community of thousands of field engineers who are service engineers, sales engineers, application engineers, We have a big community of biomedical engineers or people working in the field of medical devices. And we seem to be having more responses from that group. But we also have people working in power windmills. We have people working in microelectronics. I interviewed someone who works in automation. I had also someone who works in water treatment on vessels, and I learned a lot from him. I hope our viewers have the curiosity to go and watch all the videos. And we also had the founder, Tim, and our coordinator, also Caroline, interviewed. So that variety brings a lot of experience into the hands of the viewers and the listeners. And I enjoy doing this. I enjoy those exchanges with the people on camera and bringing up all kinds of topics and trying to share our stories, our experiences with our viewers and trying to help them in their career, wherever they are in their career, because we have listeners who are maybe still students and are contemplating field engineering, some who are mid-career and contemplating a move, some who are out of the job, like you and I have been for a bit,
Yeah.
right? And it has been quite a difficult market. And they are looking if they do a career pivot or if they continue on the same path. And I think everywhere in the world, everybody is going through the same challenges, which is something we notice. No matter where you are, we live the same challenges.
Yeah.
Maybe we speak English differently, maybe we speak other languages, we live in a different society, but we all go through very similar challenges. And that's what we bring or we put under the light when we have those talks, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's not just the professional challenges, right? There's behind the scenes, whether it's a child who's homesick, as is my case today, or there's other there's personal issues going on, but it's also interesting on the professional front, whether you're in catering field service, whether you're biomedical field service, whether you're servicing wind turbines. Actually, a lot of the common threads, some of the challenges you have, whether it's scheduling, whether it's tools, whether it's your CRM system, whatever it may be, it's really interesting to see some of the threads that bind us across industry as well. And those have been some interesting conversations to have as well throughout the year.
Right, right. And people who know me well know that I'm Lebanese, so I speak Arabic. And there's a video that will be posted soon, a talk that I had with a manager who works in Jordan. We had the talk in Arabic, and I'm still working on the translation and the subtitles. It's deeming to be quite challenging. But just to say that this is how far our reach is. And even when I spoke with him, I could see that, similar challenges. And you and I, although we have been out of the job for, a while, we haven't been sitting still. We have been active. You have your own activities in your field, although maybe they were not a job as such. I have my own activities. We both contribute to the field engineering community, whether it is through talks like this or anything else. But also, I took the time this year to look for a coaching program. So I'm being coached. And people will think, this is someone who has 30-some years of experience in the business. He has been a manager. He worked in sales. He worked in service. He worked as a field engineer. What does he need coaching for? And this is where I learned from my own experience, because I used to say the same. I have all this experience. It's shame on me if I look for a coach or a mentor. I'm the one who should be coaching and mentoring. And I'm doing that. I am coaching and mentoring a few people, and not necessarily in field engineering, but in different fields too. Could be the field of sales or even insurance. But sometimes what we coach in is not what we need coaching for. So I'm being coached for other areas of my life and my career than the ones I'm coaching people for. And it is an eye-opener, because when you are in your daily life, you are so focused that you don't see everything around you. And I've learned from myself. So that when a coach is working with you, they are from the outside, they are not living the emotions that you are living in your life, and they see it. They see the 360 degrees around you that you don't see. And they have also experiences that can help you with their experiences, because instead of you experiencing every little thing to get where you want to go, they can give you shortcuts because they have been in those instances and they have found their way. So they share with you the same way you and I and the other contributors are sharing on this channel. So I don't know what have been your experiences with coaching and mentoring, or if you had ever been coached or mentored.
So I think one thing that springs to mind is, you're never too old for a coach. It doesn't matter where you are, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your sporting activities, whether it's a musical thing that you're chasing. I think you're never too old. There's always someone who can hold up their mirror to what you're doing and give you some kind of advice or guidance, or whether it's accountability. So for me personally, my most recent coaching, being coached example is, and again, I've spoken on the channel about this before, but I last year I had a running coach. I'm an active guy. I like to do various sports, but I'd never I'd never joined a running club per se. And I thought, I don't really need a coach. I know how to run. I'm quite fast. Why do I need a coach? But I think actually, for me, it took it to that next level. Not, and for me, the coach wasn't just providing me a training program and targets to achieve, but for me, it was very much about the accountability. Like, okay, this is what I've got to do this week, and I'd write down and whether I'd done it or not. And just having someone there to say, have are you doing this thing? Have you done this thing? Makes it so much more ingrained, because if you don't do it, you're not just letting yourself down, but I think there's a real motivational driver for not letting someone else down. And I think, as service engineers, I think that's very natural not to want to let someone else down, and whether we let ourselves down, it's easier to do that. Whereas if you've got someone depending on you, or if feels like they're depending on you, then I think having that motivation, that accountability, I think is really key. I'd happily have some professional coaching as well. I'm open to it. Although I guess part of it is that can be uncomfortable at times if someone's holding a mirror up and you don't like what you see, and you have this idea of you as a person, and someone's challenging that. I think there has to be a certain amount of maturity and open to that critique. And I think one of the things that I've done a lot of reading recently, with time on my hands, and one thing, I can't remember the book, but feedback is a gift. So if someone's saying, hey, how about this, and challenging you, the thing to say is thank you very much. Whether you agree with it, whether you like it, that feedback is something, it's a gift. It's something you should be grateful for, whether you agree with it or not. So if there are those out there in the audience who think, maybe I need a coach, maybe I could do with some advice, then we have this facility open, and you can go and register some interest on the website. So if anyone's in that situation, then by all means do get stuck in and involved. And likewise, if there are other people out there who want to be a mentor and a coach, and can give some time to people who need or want it, then again, there are ways to get involved, and contact through Caroline is the way to go, I think.
Right. And sometimes the coach or the mentor can simply be like a sounding board. And sometimes when you speak, instead of having those thoughts spin in your brain all day and you feel that you're not getting anywhere, when you hear yourself talking, what you're expressing in front of someone who has been there or who has some experience in life. Like the other day, I was talking to someone, and within a few minutes, I picked up on something that she mentioned. And I say, but you say that this is a way that is successful. Do you feel far from it? Do you feel it's not for you? Have you explored it? She said, no, I didn't think of it. I said, okay, well, here's a door, here's a window. Maybe it becomes a door, you can open it and walk through it. But also because I've been around a lot, I told her, well, have you spoken to such and such, to whom I introduced you? She said, no, I didn't think of him. I said, well, he's the person to talk to because he might have walked through that door before you and he can, tell you about his experiences. So as much as it can be a kind of sounding board for the mentor or the coach, as much as you need someone sometimes for accountability, because you need sometimes that kick in the behind to get on your feet and go do stuff that is beneficial for you, but maybe you are procrastinating on it for whatever reason, and we all have been there. It's right. It's not something that is not usual for us. We have been there too. Mm-hmm. Now, for next year, I think we would like to have more guests on our show.
Absolutely.
I'm really curious to hear more from field engineers. Myself, I had, I think, two of them. One of them was from Africa and he moved to Montreal. The other person is from Panama and moved to Spain. So we see that some people are not necessarily in their home country, they move and they tell about their experiences. So it would be nice to have other field engineers step forward and who want to share their stories and help the community with their stories. And you and I are always here to help if people want to reach out. So I look forward to our future talks, and you and I are working on another roundtable with managers. Hopefully before the end of the year, we can finalize it and post it. And we have maybe one or two more videos that we'll be posting, so our viewers can, our audience, viewers and listeners can look forward to that maybe 2 or 3 before the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I'm also looking forward to speaking to more people next year. And I would also say to the audience, if there are things that you would like us to cover, by all means, reach out. Let us know if you're finding some things of interest or there's something you picked up on and you want to know more, then please do get in touch. Let us know. This channel is here for the benefit of the community. So if you want to guide and shape it, get involved and get stuck in. I think we've got a lot to look forward to in 2026. We've got as you say, a few projects in the pipeline to see out the end of the year and hopefully deliver in December and January. But if you want to get involved, please do get in touch and hopefully we'll be speaking to one of you one day.
One thing I want to mention, because I was contacted about it 2 days ago, being in Canada and being someone who immigrated to the country, sometimes people approach me to ask me about my experience and how to make it happen. I just want to remind our audience that we have at least 2 videos about that. And I had them, I think, with Caroline. One was posted recently, last week or the week before. It provides good information to those who are immigrating or who are looking to immigrate to Canada. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, whether on this community or on LinkedIn, and I'll try to help. But I want to point you to these videos. If you can watch them, it will give you answers to many questions you have, and then reach out to me for whatever other information you're looking for. I'll be happy to help.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a brilliant thing to wrap up the this session. Thanks to all our viewers. Guy, thank you very much for your continued support and interaction. And I think we'll have a brilliant holiday season and see everyone in 2026.
Thank you, Charlie. I enjoy working with you, obviously, and I enjoy being part of the community and being able to help and share, everything that I know. I want to thank Tim and Caroline again for the hard work they are doing. I mean, these guys are committed and dedicated to this community, and all together we're trying to make something helpful to the community. So enjoy your holidays and wish you all a happy new year, because this video might be posted soon, which is close to the end of the year. So thanks again, Charlie.
Thanks, Keith. Take care.